Hey everybody, Danny Orton here, Soccer Expansion Project. So wanted to mention, first of all, that my mom has asked me not to explain what the Expansion Project is all about. And also, excuse my cats in the background. So if you want to check it out, we've got a little video here that's worth looking at just to explain what we're doing. I must be getting old and drinking milk before bed. But here's a topic for everybody today, and here it is. Ready? It's something we're all familiar with, something that happened to us tonight as a staff. And for the first time in actually years, this happened. We had an angry parent, and they were upset over things that, in our opinion, they didn't need to be upset over. But I realized, having worked in the sports facility where we're at, Nick Valley Sports Centre, this happens a lot. And I've generated this little graphic just here. The Angry Sports Parent Checklist. Does this sound familiar? So you as a coach, right, you're going to hear these things. Hi, coach. I just want to let you know, I've been involved with youth sports as a player or a coach in my life. That's what they say. That creates empathy and that we're on the same team. That's what that does, apparently. I have never sent an email or approached a coach before. Therefore, this must be important, right? There are other parents who share my concerns. So this person's kind of like the hero, the person that's captain of the ship, bringing all of these concerns to us. And it's herd mentality, over a single voice, and therefore this must be a real issue. If there's more people, oh my gosh. I know you have guidelines, but this person's about to break those guidelines, and saying that gives them permission, right? It's just ridiculous. And I think it's important that you're aware. Therefore, this person's being good. This person's here to protect your brand. This person's here to save you. So when I think about that, all the number of emails that have flown around within the sports facility, within our club at times, over the 2 decades of doing this, they all overall have this tone. And it's sort of almost giving a parent a permission to be angry with you. And to bring up a concern. Now, on occasion, there are things where, something might happen where a parent has very calmly approached us or sent something in the best tone, and it's all okay. But I was frustrated this evening because we as a staff, something that came our way was we don't necessarily care about the girls program. Well, in my own head, I'm frustrated because we spent 2 hours in a meeting just last night where I didn't put my kids to bed, talking about building the girls' pool with other clubs in town. This person didn't know that. So you have all these, I get very defensive over these things when, you pull your soul and your heart and into this sport, working with people, working with kids, trying to do the best thing. My full-time job is actually not as a director of coaching as a soccer club or coaching 4 or 5 or 6 teams or being around for our staff. That part is in addition to. And I have a family of my own and I run a business. So you can get very defensive when these things happen. But one thing I think in business to think about is this idea that if there are buckets of responses and you can expect them, I think that brings experience. It's like the players that play in the sport, you play a sport, and there's all of a sudden there's, something's happened where, and we were down 1-0 and we won 2-1 and we did it this way, or the goalkeeper did this type of a situation, and therefore I can draw on that experience and just be okay with that. And I think that's pretty similar for these things here. Once you gain that experience and you have all of these responses categorized in your head, I think it can get easier to go, oh yeah, you're a parent that ... You're a coach that ... You're a personality, you're a player that ... And you can start to then draw on those experiences to then it now becomes expected. And when it's expected, it doesn't bother you. And then tonight I was a little thrown off, and my coaches maybe noticed that. I certainly felt frustrated that we had a parent approach us with things that I felt were not, we're not communicating properly, and yet we're about to forward emails to the particular parent showing all the information she claimed she didn't read an email. So those kind of things. So I don't know, being a Libra also is a challenge for me, because if things aren't perceived as fair, I lose it. I don't sleep, and I don't think it was fair for that to happen in that way tonight. So I'm just sharing that, but I came up with that soccer parent checklist. It happened again at the sports centre this week with another sport, another coach, another organisation, and it was presented in exactly the same way. And I thought, sounds familiar, and then I started to think about it, and there we go. So I'd be interested to know, is there anything else that goes on that list? Is there anything that I've missed off? Is there anything you would add, and how do we deal with that? Of course, beyond all of this is just for us to remain calm and say, okay, we've heard you. And then for me, I've bullet pointed all the things that they're concerned about to essentially say, here's the email we sent on April the 12th. This is the message that got sent out on March the 1st or whatever it is. So please again, explain to me why we didn't communicate accurately. Or something like that. I won't be combative, but I'll just re-forward emails to say, here's the info. And typically, if you've done a good job, if you've done a poor job, you don't sleep at night. That's obviously understandable. People be frustrated, but one person in years and years of doing this has felt the need to come and approach a coaching session and complain. So, yeah. So anyway, coaches, angry sports parent checklist. Thought I'd put that together. By the way, the person was neither of these two, and the picture on the left is definitely not me. So there we go. Look forward to the next video. And again, as my mom says, I won't bore you with what the soccer expansion project's all about, but I will certainly encourage you to go check out this video, and I'm looking forward to more stuff. Cheers. Thanks.